Howdy, with this video I want to go over the self-regulated learner essay, essay number 2 for the course. Actually, it's the first essay. The first writing assignment was a paragraph. Um, just a couple of things first. Journals 3 and 4, they're coming due Friday night, February 1st. The typo on our syllabus says 2nd, but it's actually Friday the 1st. They're going to be like the first two. These are going to send you to a couple of readings. The first one, Kurt Wiesenfeld, I think that's how you say that. It's going to talk about students grade grubbing a little bit. So with these journals, you don't have to agree with the person writing. I mean, sometimes the professor there seems a little snotty. Sometimes doesn't seem to understand students have problems. But looking for your reaction a little bit. You may agree with them or disagree with them. For Journal 4, you're going to be reading about self-regulated learning. Kind of gets into the research about how you can be a better student or why you are currently a good student. Are you doing the things that research shows works? Well, so it's kind of interesting on that level. Not the most exciting reading. Some of the sometimes when people write at that level, they use $5 words when a 50-cent word will do. But make sure you work through it. Definitely pay attention to those profile points of a self-regulated learner. They're forming the basis of essay number 2. But again, these readings are kind of designed to get you thinking about the topic for the essay. So when you actually see the essay assignment, it's not coming out of thin air or something. It kind of makes sense. My office hours are posted there on the homepage for the course. If these don't match up with your schedule, feel free to email me and say, hey, can you be there, between these times? And I probably can. I live fairly close to campus. Every once in a while, I have to, do kid patrol, but generally, I'm fairly flexible with my hours. And if you want to meet if you can't meet at those times, be sure and let me know if you want to meet, and we'll work something out there. The essay assignment. Down here under essay project assignments. And if you're wondering, hey, that wasn't there yesterday when I looked. I forgot to post them. Kind of, if you don't see something on the website, be sure and let me know. If you look for something like I can't find this, why is it not there? Sometimes I might have accidentally had a brain fart and forgot to put something up. So I'll try not to do that again, but it's up there now. For the essay assignment, I'm going to go ahead and download it real quick. Easier for me to work with it. Wish I could default that to Chrome, but anyway. For this essay, you're going to write a 550-word minimum essay. If you're not getting at least out of the word count, you're probably not doing something quite correct. You're not developing your ideas, or something's a little awry there. So the kind of word counts, hopefully it's not there to scare you or anything, but it's kind of to let you know if you're not making this many words, something might be going a little off with the essay, and we need to talk about it. This essay is going to be 4 paragraphs. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick 2 of the profile points of a self-regulated learner that you're going to read about for journal entry number 4. And you're going to talk about them as they apply to you. And I copied the points down there below. And as you read through them, some of these things you're going to be hopefully pretty good at, and some things you're going to be like, yeah, I could work on that a little bit. Are you good at planning and organizing your work, or does all your homework just go flying across the floor bed of your truck as you go around corners? I struggle with that sometimes. You come by my office, you're gonna be like, how they put this guy in charge of anything? But I'm one of those people. I know where it is. Don't touch it. If you move my stuff, then I go crazy. You have a good plan in action for your learning, for your college, what you're gonna do after college. You're good about seeking help when you need it. I'm bad for that. Sometimes I'll just go down with the ship instead of asking a question because I don't want to look silly. But of course, then I feel silly afterwards when I could have asked a simple question and avoided a lot of heartache and misery. But you're going to kind of go through these. You're going to pick 2 of them that you want to talk about. I have 5 kids. Controlling my learning environment and my grading environment and my environment in general, it can be quite a challenge. Right now I got 5 teenagers, so it's quite the challenge to have a quiet, calm place to work. You might have a similar situation where controlling the learning environment is a struggle for you. Of course, students today, they got their phones, they got their music, they got jobs, they got this and that. Got a lot of things going on that might prevent them from controlling their learning environment. A lot of things they may not be able to help sometimes. But you're going to focus on yourself. You're not going to tell the reader how they can be a better self-regulated learner or why they are a good one. You're talking about yourself. And one of the better ways to do it is kind of pick one you're good at and one you're bad at, and that way the essay kind of has a certain balance there. But if you want to go, too good or too bad, that's fine. Don't want to get too negative about yourself. That's why I suggest pick something you're kind of good at and can talk about, and something you need to work on a little bit. You got a little definition there, self-regulated learning. You're going to read that with journal entry number 4 as well. The way it's going to work, it's going to be a 4-paragraph essay. The first 3 paragraphs are going to be at least 150 words. And your concluding paragraph is going to be at least 100. Therefore, if you're doing exactly the minimum, you should have 550 words. Obviously, you should be going over a little bit, right? Want to keep using figurative language, good description. Don't just say your desk is messy. Tell us what it looks like, right? Don't just say I'm good at organizing. Tell us exactly how you do it. Do you have everything in folders that have the little color tabs and sticky notes, and you can tell me what you're doing 3 weeks from now at 3:30 on a Thursday. Are you good at being organized like that, or are you going to kind of show us, why you're not quite so good at it? Again, no you or you're not telling the reader how you can be better at it. You're telling us how you're good at it, or how you can improve at self-regulated learning. And avoid it. We're just trying to get that out of our writing. Generally, either it's pushing you towards a vague pronoun reference. It's not quite sure what it is when you're using the word it, or it's pushing you towards passive voice. Where you're saying something like "it is interesting that," and it's like, well, what exactly does that mean? What's it, and why is it considering it is something interesting? So it's just kind of quick. Eliminating it's a quick and dirty way to improve your writing. No research for this essay. It's going to be you're going to be talking about yourself and your experiences. So no real need for research there. How to get out? There we go. There's a sample essay there on the essay project assignments page that you should take a look at. Just a sample self-regulated learner essay. If I can do it like this. There it goes. You got to notice this one has some commentary on my part with it. Someone just explaining why the student's writing like this. I teach dual enrollment, and I like to use their essays as sample essays because generally students at Northeast State are having a different experience. The dual enrollment students are still in high school, most of them 17 years old, maybe 18, a few 16-year-olds. So they're starting with a different experience than maybe a lot of students who've been here or been out working for a couple of years. But what you're going to do in the first paragraph, you want to introduce yourself, particularly as a student. Were you a good student in high school? Went to class, did your work? And a lot of these dual enrollment students are, they're these type A personalities. They're go-getters and organized and doing everything that they can. Me, when I was in high school, not so much. I was not a particularly successful high school student. I just did well enough so that I could keep my car and keep my mother off my back, basically. And then didn't serve me well when I went to college, by the way. But she's going to introduce herself as a student. If you've been out of school for a while, talk about that. Hopefully you haven't been in a coma. You've been working and learning things. Maybe not, things you might learn in higher education, but certainly things about life, right? So you might kind of talk about that, what kind of learner you are. And then you're going to get to a thesis statement. What we mean by a thesis statement is a one sentence that's going to tell us what your essay is about. This student has a good, clear thesis here. As a self-regulated learner, I've become successful at planning and organizing my work and controlling my learning environment around me to reduce distractions. So that thesis statement is going to tell us the two major points she's going to talk about, which is planning and organizing, and the other one's going to be controlling the learning environment. And that's what her essay is going to kind of revolve around a little bit. So hopefully you're going to have a nice introduction. It tells us who you are as a student, and your experiences previously as a student, or you can talk about your experiences currently as a student. You might say, yeah, I was not, a real go-getter in high school, but now that I'm in college and I know what I want to do with my life, I'm here and I'm serious about college, and hopefully using some of these self-regulated skills to be good at it. But you're going to notice she's going to spend a paragraph on planning and organizing her work. And she's going to go into as much detail as she can about it. You can kind of she's talking about sticky notes and color coding and highlighting and making sure she knows what's coming up. Uh, she kind of throws out one detail about tests and exams she needs to study for, but she could maybe get into that maybe in a little more detail. But a pretty good paragraph overall. Um, Make sure you bring each paragraph to a good close. Complaining a little bit about this essay because she's not bringing paragraphs to a good end with a good concluding sentence. But generally, paragraphs want to have a good, clear topic sentence. What's the paragraph going to be about? Which she has right here. It's going to be about planning and organizing work. Good details and figurative language, developing why she thinks she's good at planning and organizing. Then a good concluding sentence to kind of bring the paragraph to a good close. Same thing with the third paragraph. She's going to talk about controlling the learning environment, what she does to do that, why she's good at it, or why she thinks she's good at it, and maybe some things she can do to improve. Again, kind of complaining that the concluding paragraph could use a better concluding sentence, but good topic sentence, fairly good sense of detail. Just make sure you bring each paragraph to a good conclusion. And you can kind of see we're building from that descriptive paragraph, right? We want to bring that sense of organization over to this essay, and especially that good sense of good description, using good sensory detail, using good figurative language. With the conclusion, you're going to bring it to a close. Don't just repeat your thesis statements or your thesis points. Can maybe talk about the future with self-regulated learning. Most of you are probably going in professions where you're going to have to, keep learning and keep applying different skills and learning new skills. And if you're not doing that, you're probably going to start being a manager and teaching other people's skills. So all this stuff is going to be important not only just for getting a good grade in a class, but also to be successful at your career, be successful in your family life or whatever. With 5 kids, if my wife and I aren't organized and don't have a good plan, the kids are certainly going to take over and create chaos there, right? So kind of take us out to the big picture with a conclusion. Give us a sense of the importance of your analysis, particularly in terms of your life later on. But that's the way the essay is going to look. One other part of the assignment is going to be the metaphor assignment, and you're going to see that right here under metaphor assignment. All you're going to do is draw me a picture of what you think success looks like to you. You can draw this by hand, and you might end up taking a picture on your phone and sending it to me that way. Eventually, we're going to publish this on your LinkedIn page. So we are going to need a digital copy of it at some point. If you're not quite sure how to do that, maybe bring it by my office. We can do that real quickly. It's a pretty easy process. But you're going to get a piece of paper, just a blank piece of paper, and draw out what success is going to look like. You just write the words. My student success will look like what? A race car? Is it going to look like a marching band? Is it going to be like a well-drilled military unit? Climbing a mountain? Whatever success might look like to you, and you're going to pull in something probably from your personal life there. It might look like the perfect welding job or something like that. Whatever, especially hobbies you're into, might be a good metaphor for what you view success to look like. This one's just a flower. This is talking about my teaching success. But once you draw the picture, I want you to label everything. Who's supporting you in your education? What's working well for you? Generally hard work, organization, gaining knowledge in one class, applying it in the next. Whatever's leading to your success as a student, you want to draw it out, label it, kind of show us what success looks like. Kind of neat. Might put up a couple of more examples here later in the week. But hopefully that's a fun activity. This should not stress you too much. Good chance to kind of sit down and draw something out for fun. And if you're into coloring, get the crayons out or the colored pencils and color it in. Again, I'll show you some examples later in the week. Once you kind of focus, make sure you're focusing on journals 3 and 4. I'm trying to get back to the schedule here. The Wi-Fi for faculty is a little slow here. I'll be right there. Too big. There we go. All right, so Friday, again, that's the first, not the second. Journals 3 and 4 are due. The Dropbox is already up for that. We're not going to worry about those mind tap exercises. Campus classes here on campus are having a little trouble with those, and I don't want to start those online and just, again, create massive chaos while you're trying to get things done. We'll see if we can get those under control here on the on-site campus classes before we try and apply this to an internet class. So don't worry about this too much. If we just simply don't get to them, I'll give you the points for it. You won't just, you won't lose points or anything. But for Friday, make sure you're getting journals 3 and 4 done. Again, they're going to be getting you thinking about the essay. For next Tuesday, I'm looking for the first 2 paragraphs of the self-regulated learner essay. That'll be your introduction paragraph and the paragraph on your first point. That way I can kind of see if you got a good thesis going. Make sure you have a good, you're on the right track there before you finish the entire essay. There's nothing worse than doing an entire essay and having the teacher go like, well, that's not what I'm looking for. So hopefully nothing like that will happen, and that's kind of what we're trying to stop here. By next Friday, the 8th, the full draft's due. I want to look at your metaphor as well. I'll look at those, review them, send back my commentary. You'll revise and submit them on Tuesday the 12th. Again, hopefully kind of an interesting essay for you. You're learning kind of what the research says works and doesn't work, and you've probably seen this, if you look around at successful students, what they do, and unsuccessful students and what they do. You got to know all this at play, notice all this at play. But if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. But I'm going to get off here, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.